Hello friends, welcome to Feature Friday number 52. If you don't know me, my name is Dmitry and I'm one of Wave.Video co-founders. This is definitely not Friday, but I would like to keep the name. We have been asked repeatedly to go live around this time, so here it is. There will be this live stream and the same stream on Friday as usual. Now it's 9 p.m. in Boston. In Boston, it's dark outside. I usually go live in the morning, so this is something new for me. I have those fancy color lights actually live streamers use, and I wanted to use them today, but unfortunately I couldn't find them. They simply disappeared. And I can find stuff in this house, only my wife can. But unfortunately, she went to gym, so no luck with the lights. Anyway, let me check if everything is all right. And let me know if you hear me or not. One sec. Okay, yeah, let me know how to use Wave here in the comments. Feel free to ask any questions during the stream. Okay, let me show you what we have today. Basically, I'm like super excited to share two new features in our live streaming studio. The features are webinars and slides. So first of all, let me talk about slides. Okay, so what are slides? So first of all, you can share everything now in the studio just by sharing another window where you can have the presentation open. But there are several issues with that. First of all, sometimes it is challenging to share a window or a tab without all those, menus, toolbars, etc. So basically, it's challenging to share just the presentation, nothing else. And another problem is that if you don't have a huge screen or second monitor, it is difficult to see the studio and the presentation and to control the presentation at the same time because they essentially overlap each other, right? So what we did, we just added support for files like PDF, PPT, PowerPoint, and Google Slides. Let me just show you. Essentially now in Studio, you can have this button here, Slides. If you click on the button, you can upload your PDF file or PowerPoint file just from your computer. If you click your computer and you upload it from your computer. Or if you have Google Slides somewhere in Google Drive, you can just click Google Slides. And you don't see it, but basically there is a Google slide picker. You can pick the slides and they will be added to this list. And now you can just click on the slide when it's added to the list, and essentially it's just as a regular share. You can share it on the screen, and you can edit. You can basically control you can move between the slides here. You can just move back and forth, or you can pick some slides you want, or you can do it. You can control the slides, the presentation right in this window, essentially. And again, you can pick the slides from over there. So basically exactly what you expect. You just share the slide and you can control it here or there. And again, we support PDF, PowerPoint, and Google Slides. Okay, so that was the slides. Okay, let me show what the webinar is. One sec. Essentially, we are not like full-fledged webinar platform with all the like bells and whistles. What we added is simply a way to stream to Wave provided page. You can embed the stream on your blog or the website, or you can just send the link, not YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, whatever, just a Wave provided link. You can send it to your clients, your customers, your viewers, and there are several extra options you can. Okay, let me just show you. Essentially, how it works. You create a regular live stream, right? Okay, let's call it my webinar, the first webinar. Then you do some add some description. It's a really awesome way to learn about my method. And then you can provide the thumbnail, but I'm going to be using a default thumbnail. You can schedule your webinar at some time, or you can just have it unscheduled, and you can go live at any moment. And then you go to set up destinations. And here we have this new option, webinar. Essentially, it's a new destination, and it's available all the time. You don't have to add it. It's basically available to you by default. So what you need to do, you can just toggle the destination, and that's it. You can stream to other destinations at the same time, to Facebook pages, groups, YouTube, any of your destinations. Or you can just leave just one webinar. And this way you will stream only to this webinar. And then you click live stream. After the webinar created, you have this webinar, right? And here there is a place where we show all the destinations. For example, I have this webinar, so I have this webinar, Facebook, Facebook group page, and YouTube, right? So, and here I have just the webinar. So what I can do here, I can there are three links. Well, actually two links. One is to customize the webinar, and then the link to the webinar page. You can essentially click on share webinar, copy the link, and send it to your customers or your clients. For example, let me show how this link looks like. Open it. Essentially, this is the default webinar. That's how it looks like, right? And it says like waiting for Dmitry Skavich to start, but if I have it scheduled, it will show me the time when it's going to start. So what I can do here, first of all, I can, okay, let me just close this one. I can customize the webinar page. So what I need to do, I just click customize. And here I have several options. First of all, I can choose the icon. So the icon will appear over there. If I save the changes and then go to my webinar page, the icon will appear over there. I can choose the player color, and I can choose the from several of the styles, right? Second. And again, when I save the changes, if I go to webinar page, it will update within the seconds to this new style. What other things we have here in terms of customization? First of all, you can disable or enable live chat. You can make the webinar available on demand. It means that essentially you can have the webinar available only while you stream, and as soon as you done streaming, the webinar will not be available if you turn this option off. So if you want this, you want to use this option only if you want webinar to be available while you stream. And again, same about chat. You can leave the chat available after the webinar ended or not. And so those are essentially visual options, and there is you can embed the webinar on your blog or page. Just go to embed page, you click embed, and you copy this code and you paste into your blog or website, and your webinar will be embedded onto your page. And if you want to promote your webinar before it starts, you can go to email campaign. Essentially, again, if you use any like mailers like MailChimp or Campaign Monitor, any of those, essentially you can just copy this video tag and paste into those services, and you can send your webinar announcement in your email. So if you're familiar, if you ever used Wave.Video video hosting, you should be familiar with those options because it's essentially it is the same. And the last but not least is access. This access tab. What you can do, you can say, okay, essentially what I want all the users before they enter the webinar, I want them to enter email and password. And again, if you turn it on, all the users will be required to enter the email and password before they can see your stream. And again, sorry, name and email. And of course, you can, as an extra option, you can require password. You have to just, provide your password. You can save it, and then all the viewers will be required to enter all of those: name, email, and the password. And so essentially, that's it in terms of customization. As soon as you, and actually, whenever you change it, the webinar page is updated automatically. So your viewers, even if they have it open, they don't have to like reload and that kind of stuff. So when you are ready to stream, essentially you just open the studio, same way you open the studio for any other live stream. You open the studio and you double check. Yep. And then you just go live, and again this webinar page will go live as well. One thing to to consider. So if you enabled a live chat in webinar, then all the comments from all the destinations will be shown in this live chat. What I mean is that, let's say you have you stream not only to your webinar page, but to other destinations as well, like Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitch, or whatever, and you have comments coming from all of those destinations, right? So all those comments will be shown on the webinar page. So essentially, webinar page is almost like a collection of all the comments, same as in studio. When you stream from the studio, you see comments coming from all the destinations, and the same is true about webinars. So in the sense that all your webinar users, they have this privilege, I guess, so that they see comments from all the other destinations, but people on each destinations, they see comments only coming to this destination. Okay, I think that's it about. That's what I wanted to talk about today, webinars and slides. And let me see if I have any comments. Okay. So Anya says how she uses Wave lives and recording as well as creating some videos. That's great. Karen, hi Karen, very exciting, so awesome. Thank you. Okay, can we still see the notes below the slides? Unfortunately not. We are investigating if it's possible to do or not, and if we can do it, we will do it. But unfortunately, at the moment, no notes. And Mahendra says, hello, my friend. Hello, guys. Hello from Sri Lanka. Good morning from Bali. Good evening from Boston. Okay. Are these only live webinars, Dmitry, or can one do pre-recording? How many people can attend the webinar? Those are great questions. So, yeah, at the moment, only live webinars, but there is a trick, of course. You can start the webinar and then you can just start your video. You can upload your video, pre-recorded video to your brand, and then you can just start it when you start the webinar. Not ideal, I guess, but it's a workaround if you want to show some pre-recorded videos. And you have to be present, of course. How many people can attend the webinar? Okay, so we don't really have any limits on how many people. It's all basically, it all depends on your hosting limits. So each account comes with some kind of traffic limits, hosting, we call it hosting limits, right? No, we call it traffic, traffic limits. And it's quite generous. Usually we rarely have any, people almost never go over the limit. But anyway, if you happen to go over the limit, there is extra charge. I think it's 1 cent per gigabyte, which again is extremely cheap. So unless you stream to literally millions of people, okay, hundreds of thousands of people, you shouldn't be worrying. You shouldn't be worrying about those limits. And there is no limits for the number of people who are watching. Is the webinar embed compatible with all hosting, or does it matter? Can it be used in shared hosting plan? Webinar embed, essentially it's a regular, if you're familiar with HTML, it's a regular iframe tag which you can paste into any HTML page. Well, well, I guess if you using hosted WordPress, and I mean WordPress, which is on WordPress.com, I don't think they support iframe. But if you have like your own WordPress installation, usually you can just use iframe as you wish. And again, almost all the websites or CMS platforms, they support the iframe. Is it integrated with Publi or another third-party site to send the email address to our CRMs? Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with Publi. I need to check it after the live. But if you're talking about this email campaign code, you can use it with almost any provider. With some providers, you may need to alter it a little bit, but it usually works with most of them. If you have any problems with some particular provider, or you don't know how to change your code, just contact support. We will try to help. Greetings, everyone. Okay, does it have a text message feature to remind people about the webinar? No, at least not yet. This is our new feature, so I'm pretty sure we will talk to our customers, to users, and figure out what's the most what people want, and we will try to add stuff. Okay, good morning from Australia. Good morning, Annie. Okay, it definitely works with MailChimp. Yep. How do you look at Wave and its position in the market? Is this your only revenue generator? Well, this is a loaded question. I'm not sure I can answer it right now, but yes, it is. It is our only revenue generator. Okay, guys, I don't see any other questions. So again, if you're watching it after the live recorded, just leave a comment and we will try to answer it later on, today or tomorrow. Okay, thank you, and see you. By the way, so I think I mentioned it, but I will repeat this live on Friday. So if you missed it and you want to be live, you want to see it live, or you want to ask some question, just join me on Friday. See you.